What are the three reasons that you put it on and take it off? Your paint gets brittle after a while and you need it to grab the next layer. Sometimes the paint gets what's called sunken in. I love the depth you get from glazing and oiling. Hey, this is Chris at Art Secret Studio, and I'm oiling out a painting a series of paintings of President Carter, of which I finished, and this one's hanging around. It's number 6 of, 28 pieces at the Carter Library, at the Smithsonian, at different places. And I want to work on this a little bit. It has some unfinished areas, and it's been a while, so I oiled it out. And my favorite product is Winsor Newton's Oil Painting Medium. I put it on for about 7 minutes, and I wipe it off. And that's what this video is about. Pretty simple, straightforward. You must wipe it off. What are the three reasons that you put it on and take it off? Your paint gets brittle after a while and you need it to grab the next layer. So if it's been dry for a while and you haven't been working on it, oiling out softens up the layer to allow it to grab. The other reason you do it is sometimes the paint gets what's called sunken in. And now the fresh paint has a lot of oil in it and the sunken in part doesn't, and it's hard to know if you're blending or not blending. The last reason is a little kind of strange. I love the depth you get from glazing and oiling out and glazing, and as I go thicker and thicker with my lights and I glaze and oil out, and it creates a three-dimensional depth that's absolutely beautiful. And there's actually a fourth reason, and the fourth reason is during the painting process, sometimes I've glazed in one area and not another. And when that happens, you have this uneven shine. So what I do is I go ahead and oil it out, leave it on for 5 to 7 minutes. Then I wipe it off with a high-grade cheesecloth. I'll include it in the video. A high-grade cheesecloth. You wipe it off. That oil sinks into the dried in, sunk in part. You don't see it, but it's actually there in the under layer. And on the shiny parts, when you take the cheesecloth, it wipes it right off. So therefore, you now have a solid level of oil. So when you varnish it in 6 months, it will have an even shine. That's probably one of the big reasons, because normally I don't like to work on paintings that have been around for a while. With Winsor Newton Oil Painting Medium, and I brush it in, and then I leave it on for about 7 minutes, anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes, and it brings back the luster of the color. And I'm carefully measuring. Normally I have it in a cup. I just wasn't planning. We were doing a demo, and I need to paint on this. And what happened was I had a change of mind and was too far along. And I'm going to go in here and just kind of rub paint in with my finger. And that's it. I mean, oiling out is an incredible process. So why do you oil out? What's the point of oiling out? One, it brings back the beauty that was once there. Two, as the paint gets harder, it starts to stick, or it doesn't want to stick. The next layer of paint will stick, but as time goes on, it can flake off if something hits it. So you're actually softening the edge, or softening the paint, so the next layer will adhere to it. After I rub this in for 5 to 7 minutes, now you're starting to see the green, and the alizarin is here where I wanted you to look, and then the green and the alizarin kind of made it a black. And you see the green up here, and there's cobalt in areas, so you see the green and the cobalt. I love the way the hair is painted. There's a looseness to the brush strokes. And that's it. You're just massaging it in so it holds the next coat. Because I think I can finish this in a very short time, maybe a day less. Pretty simple. I just have to rub some color over some of these areas that I sanded the paint off with. Time-wise, it is about 5 after, so I'll give it a couple minutes, and I'll just massage it for a few minutes. So all you're doing is the paint gets very hard if it's been sitting a while, and it won't, the next layer won't grip to it. So oiling out softens it, and then when you paint on it, it'll grab it. So I typically don't paint on it today. I let it dry. And then I wipe it off with cheesecloth, and it's 100%. This is the 6th version of 28 pieces that are in that collection that I did. And this is the last one. The Smithsonian already has the other one, and the Carter Library has a bigger version. I kept changing the size, the background, and what I was doing in half. Okay, so this is Chris. I've been oiled out President Carter's portrait. It is, it's been 5 to 7 minutes. And it's time to take it off with cheesecloth. You definitely want it to come off with cheesecloth. Like I said, it's 100% cheesecloth. And I'm just gonna wipe off the excess. It does a few things. If you have, say you've glazed and you have shiny spots and you have dull spots, when you oil out, what the oiling out does is over the shiny glaze spots, it comes right off because it hasn't had time to dry. The areas that don't have glaze, that got absorbed right away. And now underneath the surface, it all has one even coat of glaze. And that's about it. It's pretty simple. It's a structural thing. It is so the next layer of paint sticks. It also makes it shine evenly. So when I varnish it, it's a shine. And then my case, it is a structural thing. The painting's been sitting a while, and I've decided to finish it, even though there's already 28 pieces in this collection that have been finished.